I've been telling you since day one, that's not me.
No, I know,
But we're
but
still now, you're still wanting it. I don't know what you want me to do, what you want me to say.
you feel like now towards me compared to like the wedding day. Hesitation is an answer in itself.
Am I the only one who gets furious every time a particular cast member comes on scene because we know they're going to say or do something silly, something that's just going to annoy us? Amy, she knew she was going to a cooking class and she dressed like that, and then she complains that her husband is very sexual in his talking. What does she expect him to do? I am not one to judge someone by the way they dress, but then I feel like she should have come there in the jeans and a t-shirt and seen if he was going to be very sexual. He's going to tell her she looks sexy anyway, because she does. If he doesn't say that, then she's going to complain. If he says so, then, oh, you're being inappropriate, make it make sense. And Polly, I guess Alex is punching the air wherever he is, because he told you this man doesn't like you, and this man continues to show you that he doesn't like you. And then, oh, Nate, I love Nate. I really love Nate. And oh, his motion sickness, I felt bad for him because I know how it feels to have motion sickness. But anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, share, leave a comment, and definitely subscribe. We're trying to get to 3,000 before the end of season 9 Married at First Sight. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight UK season 9 episode 31. So it's final dates, and it seems everyone has a different date planned out. And it's a bit interesting looking at the budget and what other people are getting as compared to others. For Lacy and Nate, they go in a helicopter ride. They're flying over, I assume, Lacy said it was Cheshire or something like that. And she went, hello, mum. I don't know whether that's where she lives. Poor Nate, he had motion sickness. He was struggling to sit upright. I thought, because he said today is the best day to tell her I love her, I thought maybe you would have somewhere in a field where it was written I love you, Lacy, or something like that. But obviously the romantic aspect of it went out the window the moment he felt sick, because you could tell I suffer from motion sickness and I know the feeling. He couldn't wait to be on the ground. The pilot had to give him had to tell him where the sick bag was, and I think he was worried that I hope you're not sick in my helicopter, because then I will have to clean it. But they managed to make it to the ground, and Lacy was very caring, so that was really cute to see. Really cute. I really loved that. Obviously, with the two couples that are split, you have Ross and Sasha, and Luke and Amy. They're still living in separate apartments. With Polly and Adam. Well, she takes him what she calls dirt riding or something like that. They go in this Range Rover and they're sort of driving in some muddy patch in somebody's field. And it's like, the producers are not wasting money on couples that they know are not going to make it. That's what I get. Because how can someone go in a helicopter and then someone be given an old Range Rover and just be told to drive around a muddy patch on a field? That doesn't make sense to me. With Amy and Luke, they go on a cooking date. And the way she's dressed, she knows she's going on a cooking date. I don't get how she's dressed like that with her chest out. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm being a bit nitpicky. I would have assumed maybe she should have just turned up maybe in jeans and a t-shirt. Since she says she doesn't want him to sexualize her, why then go there dressed like that? Because obviously he's going to make remarks because you're showing him the goodies. Yes, she's not responsible for how he reacts. At the same time, maybe she should have covered up a bit more and seen how he would have behaved in that situation. Amy has danced on my last nerve, and I'm fed up of her. I really am fed up. I never thought I'd be this fed up of someone, but I am, because she and her husband and Luke were flirting while they were cooking. They were both flirting back and forth. Everything was okay. And then it's like a light bulb moment. And she suddenly just turned into this person that you can't stand, because she gave him the spoon and he started licking it. It had chocolate, whatever mixture they had made. I assume they were making a cake or something, because he actually told her that he used to be in the kitchen with his mom. And in the kitchen with his mom would give one of them the blade. So I would assume from the mixer, and the other one the bowl. And he liked the blade because then his tongue could go all over the place. And yeah, it does sound sexual, but if you look at a child doing it, it's from an innocent space. And this is why I said language barriers play a part in this relationship, and cultural differences as well. Things that, look and might seem normal in his culture. For Amy, she doesn't say it that way. So for her to be offended that, why is he licking the spoon? Oh my God, how many people lick a spoon after mixing baking stuff? Please, how many people? That's not such a big deal. He didn't say anything. She found it sexual. He didn't say it was sexual. He was just licking the spoon. So that's on her. That's not on him. For them to sit down and for her to come up with this list, I really don't get why she had to bring a list. If she was going to bring a list, he should have been allowed to bring his own list. She was looking for a way to call him out, and she was looking for an excuse. I assume the wooden spoon thing didn't seem big enough for her to make a big deal about, so she had to find something else. Anyway, she asked him a couple of questions, and I feel like they were inappropriate questions. She has no right to ask him those questions if he is not going to ask her the same questions, because we should have heard her own response to those questions, because she asked him, what is the worst part of our relationship? And he said the physical distance. He says he wants to, at times he wants to just grab hold of her and turn her world upside down. And it's like, I feel like he's worried that because of her stiffness, he doesn't want to offend her or he doesn't want to upset her. And there are times he wants to make out with his wife, but is afraid that if he does that, she might not appreciate it. That was my understanding of that response. And then, do you lie to make yourself look better? And she sort of said no initially, and she went, oh, what about the butler in the buff stuff? And it's like, well, if he's done it 1 or 2 times or just a couple of times and he's no longer doing it, then I don't see the big deal about it. Unless there was more to the butler in the buff stuff, unless he slept with his clients and stuff, then that's a problem. Then yes, I would say that's a big problem. She has jobs that she's done before she met this man. We haven't heard him sort of ask her for her resume. So I don't get why she's asking for his resume and why she's so stuck on that. Unless he said, this is what I do. I sleep with my clients. I do ABCD. And she felt that wasn't the type of person she wanted. Well, maybe in that situation, she should have been like the lady from last season and told the experts that, I'm a very posh girl, I want a posh guy, and then she would have found her own posh guy like Peggy did last season. Anyway, her last question was, how many relationships have you had? And he's counting his fingers like, this person and this. Oh, it's taking too long, you should just tell me. And it's like, please sit down and keep quiet. Allow him to hang himself. Give him time enough to count however many people he says he's been in a relationship with, and then he'll let you know. And the other thing is, I am not sure whether he understood the difference. Was she asking for a relationship as in a committed situation, or how many people he's hit it and quit it with? Because I think he was counting the number of people he's hit it and quit it with, because he told her 8, she got pissed because she said, you told me 2, that's totally different, that's 6 people. And it's like, how many people have you had? We've seen pictures of you with Arthur on the internet. So outside of Arthur, how many other people have you had relationships with? Make it make sense. Don't hang someone if you know you've got some skeletons in your closet as well. I really don't like that, and I don't like the way she's dragging him. For her to storm off and say a relationship needs to be built on trust. Well, a relationship needs to be built on trust and respect, and you lack respect for your husband. How about that? How about that? You lack respect for your husband. You pretend as though you're offended by any sexual innuendos, and yet you're busy slapping Adam in the face with a dildo. Make that make sense? Make that make sense? I don't get it, and I'm still confused as to how we got here. You have Sasha and Ross go ice skating because apparently Ross, his dad used to take him ice skating. And Sasha, as soon as they got, why didn't you tell me we're coming ice skating? I don't have any socks. Oh, she had complaint after complaint after complaint. These girls are making it difficult to like them. They really are making it difficult for the viewers to like them, because they always have a complaint, or they're always up to something that is frustrating for the people watching them, and I don't get it. Once they got on the ice, she told Ross she wanted a moment, so he decided to go skating. Oh, why are you leaving me? You're not a gentleman. You're supposed to wait for me. You're supposed to wait for me so that... And it's like, please make it make sense. It's either you want a moment to settle yourself, or you want him to wait for you. Which is it? He asked you, let's go. You said, no, I want a moment. He left you to have your moment. Now you're complaining that why did he leave you? I don't get it. I really don't understand these women and their sort of requirements in a relationship, because I think some of it is unrealistic and it's unattainable, and they know that for a fact, but they continue to want these guys to jump through hoops just to meet a certain standard that they themselves cannot meet. The fact that, Sasha's expecting an apology from Ross, but is not willing to apologize for her behavior in this situation doesn't make sense to me, because she's as much responsible for what happened in that relationship as he is. It's not a one-sided thing. So the two of them needed, before they went on the ice, in my opinion, they should have sat down, had a conversation, apologized to one another on camera for us to see, and then they could have gone ice skating, and then that would have made sense. But hey, the producers assume we're going to eat this up, so let's go. I'm curious about the budget. Who got how much, and how was it decided? Because after they've been in this Range Rover driving around, they must have, Channel 4 must have asked someone, maybe one of the production team, to borrow their car and their sort of front lawn. Because after the dirt riding, they then go and sit on this blanket in the middle of this little lawn patch, and they're giving each other gifts. I really liked Adam's gift. I thought it was very thoughtful, because he said he made a box and then he put stuff like the first cock from their first bottle of wine on their honeymoon. He's put little sentimental things, the golden envelopes that they get under the doors, and it really made sense, and it really showed that this person actually cares, and he took time to actually think of what he was going to give you. And then for Polly to give him adoption papers for her pet doesn't make sense. You can't equate that. There's no value in that, because that's her pet. So she's just saying, come on board and be a part of our family. It's not like she's actually sat down and thought, what does this man want? What can I get him that will make him happy? So I get his frustration and I get his anger. They then decide to look at their journey sort of during the experiment, where they've come from and how they are. And they go back to the same old fight. Because she is saying, how do you feel about me now as compared to wedding day? And he can't describe it. He really can't describe it. That infuriates her. Why can't he say anything nice? We've been together for so long. The very first day he didn't know me. Now he knows me. He spent time with me. Why doesn't? And it's like, he will never say or do anything that will make you happy. He will never say or do anything that makes you happy. In my opinion, Adam and Amy, something happened during their couple swap, and they might either be dating or might be looking at dating after the show ends, because I don't get their sudden frustrations with their partners after the wife swap, because it's almost the same. You can put a mirror to it and it's exactly the same, because Adam is triggered. Oh, you're always asking me for stuff, wanting me to do stuff that I'm not comfortable with, and I've told you that I'm not comfortable with that. I show you that I like you through my actions. She wants him to tell her you're beautiful, and it's like, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You can't ask someone to tell you you're beautiful just because that's what you want to hear. What if you don't meet their standard of beauty? Then what? Is that what she wants him to tell her? That, sorry, but you don't meet what I consider to be beautiful, so I can't lie to you and say that you're beautiful when I don't feel you are. That's more or less what he's going to end up saying, because she keeps pushing and pushing him, wanting him to continue to compliment her. He told her, I'm uncomfortable saying that. I believe in actions. Well, his actions have shown by him making the box for her, by him putting all the stuff in the box, that shows that he cares. And what she doesn't get, I don't get, because, oh, you need to tell me. This man has gone out of his way. He has kissed you. He has had sex with you. He has done everything you've asked for. And now you're still complaining. What have you done for him? I wish you'd asked her that. What have you done for me? Tell me what you have done for me. That way I can sort of understand where I'm going wrong, because I wish the producers would show us what Adam wants from this relationship, and we can see if Polly has met any of his requirements to this point. Anyway, you have Sasha and Ross. After their ice skating, they go on their little sort of mini date. They sit down in this room. It looked nice and warm. Oh my God, I could have taken a seat in there by the fireplace. And they sort of exchange gifts. I think Ross is being sponsored by some sort of jewelry company, because he's given her so much jewelry. It's unbelievable. Or maybe that's where his budget went. That's why he decided to go ice skating, because he knows that she likes jewelry. He gave her a necklace with a pendant on it, which had a picture of her cat. I thought he was going to put the cat one side and the mom and dad on the other side, but apparently it's the cat, because you couldn't fit it on one side. That was cute. I really liked that. That was sweet. She got him a ring, which sort of is a symbol of, two hands sort of representing his Irish heritage. Apparently his dad was Irish, and I felt that was cute as well. It showed that they actually took time to think of what their partner would want, as compared to Polly, who just went and picked up the first thing she could think of and brought it home. So I don't know whether they'll work. I know they say when they're good, they're very good, but for me, they need a lot of work when it comes to Ross and Sasha. There is a lot of issues in that relationship that I don't think will work, in the sense that Sasha wants to be babied and Ross can't afford to baby her because he's already got a child that he needs to baby. So I don't see Sasha wanting to play second place in that relationship. And they're still talking about moving. Are we going to move? Are we going to do this and that and the other? That relationship was never going to work. I'm not surprised that it didn't work, because there's a lot of me. There's not a lot of us. Yes, Sasha has been learning sign language as part of her job, and it's good because her husband has hearing impairment, so that will help. But still, at the same time, there's more to a relationship than just them, working on sign language or him buying her gifts. And I don't see them being able to compromise, in the sense that I don't see Sasha being willing to be second class in that relationship. Am I the only one who's curious as to what the producers promised Amy? Because initially, after she walked out of her date with Luke, she was sitting in bed and she was moaning that she doesn't see this going anywhere because she feels betrayed by Luke. And then suddenly we have them sitting down for breakfast with them having a conversation about reconciling, and her sort of saying, I think I overjudged you. I feel bad that I sort of made you feel bad. We won't discuss exes anymore. And it's like, why? Why the sudden turnaround? Have the producers told you that it's either you make up or you go home? What is it? Because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that you stormed off saying that he betrayed you. He's constantly lying and the relationship is based on trust and you don't trust him. To you suddenly saying, no, I'm happy for us to continue with this marriage. I forgive you and let's move on. Obviously, Luke was able to give her the rings because he had brought the rings to the cooking date. He expected to give her the rings because they had both removed their rings during home stays. And so she accepts her ring back. She's ecstatic. He's ecstatic. And something is not right. Something is really not right. I want the truth. What did production promise them for them to kiss and make up and agree to continue in this experiment? I'm a bit curious. Is it because producers were worried that they wouldn't have enough material for one episode if Luke and Amy left? Is that why they bribed them to stay in the experiment? Make it make sense? I don't quite get it. I'm a bit confused because that is sort of random, from people that were not talking to one another. Suddenly they're back in the same apartment. They're having breakfast and they're behaving as though nothing went wrong. I don't understand. You then have Nate and Lacy. They obviously are back from their helicopter ride. It seems Nate has recovered from the motion sickness. I hear you. I suffer from motion sickness as well, so I empathize. They sit down and it's quite cute. I feel like the biggest budget was spent on Nate and Lacy. I think Nate and Lacy are the only couple that are still together at this rate, given how much money was actually spent on them by the producers. So they sit down and Nate is saying he's going to tell her he loves her. He goes around in circles until he eventually gets to the I love you. And it was cute. It was really cute. He said, I love you to the stars and back. I assume it means something to the two of them. Or maybe they've already told each other I love you off camera and they've decided to do it on camera. Lacy gifts him a teddy bear with her voice sort of in it, saying I love you to the stars and back, which was really cute because she had already told him she loves him. That was really sweet. I found it endearing. And then you have Nate present her with something as well, because it seems everyone is giving a gift. So Nate presents her with a certificate to say, I have bought you a star. And this reminded me of Shanice and Jeffty from season 6 on Married at First Sight in the US, because they are the first couple that bought each other a star. So that was really cute and very sentimental. You could tell Lacy was very moved by it because it's something she wasn't expecting. I found it very cute and I really liked it, and I found it very thoughtful as well on Nate's part. They had a cute little dance. I hope, if nothing else, Lacy takes this relationship seriously, because Nate seems like a really good guy and he might give her the life that she wants. She doesn't have to ask him for anything. He's very intentional in what he does. He just doesn't do things just to make someone happy, or he just doesn't appear to do things just for the camera. So I hope she takes him seriously and actually puts in the effort, and this relationship could be, her marriage for life. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 30. Bye guys.